Namaste. Welcome back to Samskriti. By the grace of Sri Rama, we are now entering Aranyakandam of Adhyatma Ramayana. Sarga 1. Rama stayed at the hermitage of sage Atri and took leave of him the next day morning, saying that they wished to go to Dandaka forest, asking him to direct some of his disciples to show them the path. The all-knowing sage Atri smiled on hearing this, as Rama is the shelter of even gods and the pathfinder for all the creatures, and wondered who can show them the path. Nevertheless, he deputed some of his disciples for the purpose, and himself followed Rama for quite some distance and returned to his ashrama only when persuaded by Rama to do so. After having gone a distance of about 1 kosha, that is around 2 miles, Rama saw a large river and he asked the disciples about crossing the river. They replied that there was a strong boat for the purpose and they should themselves take them across the river in a short while. Then the young ascetics, Muni Kumarakaha, boarded Rama, Lakshmana along with Sita on the boat and themselves rowed the party across the river. Then after being praised and honored by Rama, they returned to the ashrama of their guru, Atri Muni. Now, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana reached a very dense and wild forest which was echoing with the clamour of shrill chirping of insects such as crickets, was full of different types of wild, ferocious and cruel animals like lions and tigers. The forest was also infested with horrible demons. Entering that fearsome, awful forest, Rama told Lakshmana that they should hereafter tread very carefully with great vigilance and should keep themselves fully alert. He told that he would string his bow and keep an arrow ready in hand and walk in the front, while Lakshmana was to do the same and walk similarly in the rear. Sita was to walk in between the two of them, just like Maya stays between the Paramatma and the Jivatma. He cautions Lakshmana that Dandakaranya is notorious for the many Rakshasas infesting it. In this way, talking cheerfully with each other, they went ahead carefree for a distance of about 1.5 yojanas, approximately 12 miles. There was a small, beautiful lake adorned by lotuses and lilies of various kinds. Approaching that lake, they drank its cool, comforting water and sat down to rest under the shade of a tree on its bank for a while. At that moment, they saw a huge, most dreadful and fierce monster approaching them. He had fierce fangs and his howl spread terror all around. On his left shoulder rested a trident which had many humans pierced and stuck on it. He was proceeding forward menacingly all the while, eating many wild elephants, lions and buffaloes that came in his way. Seeing him, Rama readied his bow and told Lakshmana to stand with his bow in readiness, and he told Janaki not to be afraid. Saying so, Rama mounted his arrow on the bow and stood firm like a mountain. Soon that colossus demon saw Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, laughed derisively, creating fear in all with his thunderous and chilly voice, and he threateningly asked them as to who they were in the form of hermits, donning tree bark and matted hair, but with bows and arrows in hand, also accompanied by a woman. He said that though they look very attractive and handsome, they are almost in his mouth as a morsel of food for him. He asked them the reason for daring to come into this terrible forest. To these words of the Rakshasa, Rama smilingly replied and told him about himself, Sita and Lakshmana, and that they were there on the orders of their father to free that place from menacing people like the Rakshasa. Hearing this, the demon gave out a terrific howl and opened his mouth wide, lifted his trident in his hand, and introducing himself as the world-renowned demon Viradha, he told that all the ascetics had left this forest out of his fear. He further told that if they want to save their lives, they were to abandon the weapons and leave Sita there and run away, else he shall eat them up both immediately. Saying this, the demon lunged forward to catch hold of Sita. At this, Rama severed both his arms with a single arrow with utmost ease. Being overcome with a terrible anger, the demon came running towards Rama to gobble him up. Confronting Viradha, Rama cut his 2 legs, much to the astonishment of all. Viradha now crawled forward like a serpent to devour Rama. Now, with an arrow shaped like a crescent moon, Rama sliced off his head, which fell in a river of blood on the ground. Thereupon, Sita congratulated Rama. The gods sounded their trumpets in the sky, the Apsaras began dancing, while the Gandharvas and the Kinnaras sang adulatory songs to celebrate Rama slaying Viradha. There came out of Viradha's body a very handsome form, dressed in excellent robes, decorated with shining gold ornaments, as splendorous as the midday sun in the sky. That gentleman cheerfully bowed before Sri Rama. That Rama who destroys the sorrows of all who have taken his refuge, who is capable of terminating the term of the jivas in samsara, and who is a veritable treasure of mercy. Paying his deepest reverence and obeisance, Viradha addresses Rama, saying that he is a Vidyadhara of luminous form. A Vidyadhara is a class of demigod attained by wise, learned souls who could not achieve complete salvation. Viradha tells Sri Rama that earlier he had been cursed for no special reason by sage Durvasa, who was an embodiment of anger, and that today he has been liberated from that curse by Rama. He prays to Rama to grace him with remembrance, fervor, dedicated and ardent devotion in Rama's holy feet, which removes the shackles of this delusionary world. He wanted his speech to be ever engaged in uttering Rama's holy names, his ears to ever imbibe the nectar of Rama's stories, and his hands to always worship the lotus feet of Rama, and his head to be ever laid in prostration before Rama's holy feet. Viradha further paid his salutations to Rama, calling him the embodiment of pristine, pure Jnana, Vishuddha Jnana Murti. He is Rama because he remains contented in his own natural, inherent, truthful form, ever absorbed in his own self. He is also Sita Rama, as he appears along with his Maya, the all-powerful creative energy represented by Sita. Viradha took Rama's permission to return to his heavenly abode, asking Rama to bless him so that the delusionary power of Maya never clouds his vision. When Viradha prayed in this manner, Raghunandana was much pleased and bestowed boons on Viradha, who had overcome all limitations of Maya and had become liberated by having the darshana of Sri Rama. In this world, pure devotion is very seldom found, for if one has that type of bhakti, he attains mukti immediately. Rama blesses Viradha, saying that he shall also attain mukti as he was endowed with that kind of bhakti. In this manner, Rama slayed a ferocious and formidable demon, liberated him from his curse, blessed him, and restored him to his former wise self as a Vidyadhara. Similarly, a person who adores and worships Rama with dedication is sure to receive all the blessings of life. Moving on with the chanting now. प्रथमः सर्गः श्रीमहादेव उवाच अथ तत्र दिनं स्थित्वा प्रभाते रघुनन्दनः स्नात्वा मुनिं समामन्त्र्य प्रयाणायोपचक्रमे मुने गच्छामहे सर्वे मुनिमण्डलमण्डितं विपिनं दण्डकं यत्र त्वमाज्ञातुमिहार्हसि मार्गप्रदर्शनार्थाय शिष्यानाज्ञप्तुमर्हसि श्रुत्वा रामस्य वचनं प्रहस्यात्रिर्महायशाः प्राह तत्र रघुश्रेष्ठं राम राम सुराश्रय सर्वस्य मार्गद्रष्टा त्वं तव को मार्गदर्शकः तथापि दर्शयिष्यन्ति तव लोकानुसारिणः इति शिष्यान् समादिश्य स्वयं किञ्चित्तमन्वगात् रामेण वारितः प्रीत्या अत्रिस्वभवनं ययौ क्रोशमात्रं ततो गत्वा ददर्श महतीं नदीम् अत्रे शिष्यानुवाचेदं रामो राजीवलोचनः नद्याः सन्तरणे कश्चित् उपायो विद्यते न वा ऊचुस्ते विद्यते नौका सुदृढा रघुनन्दन तारयिष्यामहे युष्मान् वयमेव क्षणादिह ततो नाविसमारोप्य सीतां राघवलक्ष्मणौ क्षणात् सन्तारयामासुः नदीं मुनिकुमारकाः रामाभिनन्दिताः सर्वे जग्मुरत्रे रथाश्रमं तावेत्य विपिनं घोरं जिल्लीजङ्कारनादितं नानामृगगणाकीर्णं सिंहव्याघ्रादिभीषणं राक्षसैर्घोररूपैश्च सेवितं रोमहर्षणं प्रविश्य विपिनं घोरं रामो लक्ष्मणमब्रवीत् इतः परं प्रयत्नेन गन्तव्यं सहितेन मे धनुर्गुणेन संयोज्य शरानपि करे ददत् अग्रे यास्याम्यहं पश्चात् त्वमन्वेहि धनुर्धर आवयोर्मध्यगा सीता मायेवात्मपरात्मनोः चक्षुश्चारय सर्वत्र द्रष्टं रक्षो भयं महत् विद्यते दण्डकारण्ये श्रुतपूर्वमरिन्दम इत्येवं भाषमाणौ तौ जग्मतुः सार्धयोजनं तत्रैका पुष्करिण्यास्ते कल्हारकुमुदोत्पलैः अम्बुजैः शीतलोदेन शोभमाना व्यदृश्यत तत्समीपमथो गत्वा पीत्वा तत्सलिलं शुभम् ऊषुस्ते सलिलाभ्यासे क्षणं चायामुपाश्रिताः ततो ददर्शुरायान्तं महासत्त्वं भयानकं कराळदंष्ट्रवदनं भीषयन्तं स्वगर्जितैः वामांसे न्यस्तशूलाग्र ग्रथितानेकमानुषं भक्षयन्तं गजव्याघ्रमहिषं वनगोचरं जारोपितं धनुर्धृत्वा रामो लक्ष्मणमब्रवीत् पश्य भ्रातर्महाकायो राक्षसोऽयमुपागतः आयात्यभिमुखं नोग्रे भीरूणां भयमावहन् सज्जीकृतधनुस्तिष्ठ माबैर्जनकनन्दिनी इत्युक्त्वा बाणमादाय स्थितो रामैवाचलः स तु दृष्ट्वा रमानाथं लक्ष्मणं जानकीं तदा अट्टहासं ततः कृत्वा भीषयन्निदमब्रवीत् कौयुवां बाणतूणीरजटावल्कलधारिणौ मुनिवेषधरौ बालौ स्त्रीसहायौ सुदुर्मदौ सुन्दरौ बत मे वक्त्रप्रविष्टकवलोपमौ किमर्थमागतौ घोरं वनं व्यालनिषेवितं श्रुत्वा रक्षो वचो रामः स्मयमान उवाच तम् अहं रामस्त्वयं भ्राता लक्ष्मणो मम सम्मतः एषा सीता मम प्राणवल्लभा वयमागताः पितृवाक्यं पुरस्कृत्य शिक्षणार्थं भवादृशां श्रुत्वा तद्रामवचनमट्टहासमथाकरोत् व्यादाय वक्त्रं बाहुभ्यां शूलमादाय सत्वरः मां न जानासि रामत्वं विराधं लोकविश्रुतं मद्भयान्मुनयः सर्वे त्यक्त्वा वनमितो गताः यदि जीवितुमिच्छास्ति त्यक्त्वा सीतां निरायुधौ पलायत न चेत् शीघ्रं भक्षयामि युवामहम् इत्युक्त्वा राक्षसः सीतामादातुम् अभिदुद्रुवे रामश्चिच्छेद तद्बाहू शरेण प्रहसन्निव ततः क्रोधपरीतात्मा व्यादाय विकटं मुखं राममभ्यद्रवद्रामश्चिच्छेद परिधावतः पदद्वयं विराधस्य तदद्भुतमिवाभवत् ततः सर्पैवास्येन ग्रसितुं राममापतत् ततोर्धचन्द्राकारेण बाणेनास्य महच्छिरः चिच्छेदरुधिरौघेण पपात धरणीतले ततः सीता समालिङ्घ्य प्रशशंस रघूत्तमम् ततो दुन्दुभयो नेदुः दिवि देवगणेरिताः न नृतुश्चाप्सरा हृष्टा जगुर्गन्धर्वकिन्नराः विराधकायादतिसुन्दराकृतिः बिभ्राजमानो विमलाम्बरावृतः प्रतप्तचामीकरचारुभूषणो व्यदृश्यताग्रे गगने रविर्यथा प्रणम्य रामं प्रणतार्तिहारिणं भवप्रवाहो परमं घृणाकरं प्रणम्य भूय प्रणनामदण्डवत् प्रपन्न सर्वार्तिहरं प्रसन्नधीः विराध उवाच श्रीराम राजीवदलायताक्ष विद्याधरोऽहं विमलप्रकाशः दुर्वाससाकारणकोपमूर्तिना शप्तः पुरा सोऽद्य विमोचितस्त्वया इतः परं त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः स्मृतिः सदा मेस्तु भवोपशान्तये त्वन्नाम संकीर्तनमेव वाणी करोतु मे कर्णपुटं त्वदीयं कथामृतं पातु करद्वयं ते पादारविन्दार्चनमेव कुर्यात् शिरश्च ते पादयुगप्रणामं करोतु नित्यं भवदीयमेवं नमस्तुभ्यं भगवते विशुद्धज्ञानमूर्तये आत्मा रामाय रामाय सीतारामाय वेधसे प्रपन्नं पाहि मां राम यास्यामि त्वदनुज्ञया देवलोकं रघुश्रेष्ठ माया मां वृणोतु ते इति विज्ञापितस्तेन प्रसन्नो रघुनन्दनः ददौ वरं तदा प्रीतो विराधाय महामतिः गच्छ विद्याधरा शेषमाया दोषगुणाजिताः त्वया मद्दर्शनात् सद्यो मुक्तो ज्ञानवतां वरः मद्भक्तिर्दुर्लभालोके जाता चेन्मुक्तिदायतः अतस्त्वं भक्तिसम्पन्नः परं याहि ममाज्ञया रामेण रक्षो निधनं सुघोरं शापाद्विमुक्तिर्वरदानमेवं विद्याधरत्वं पुनरेव लब्धं रामं गृह्णन्नेति नरोऽखिलार्थान् इति श्रीमद्यात्मरामायणे उमामहेश्वरसंवादे अरण्यकाण्डे प्रथमः सर्गः।